Well, hello again. We are back in the van one more time. I actually have another tub worth of stuff that I am actually hoping to put into the overheads. That way, still having this thing empty before I take it back into the house. As of today, even a couple more steps further. I got two big water jugs, so I've got 6 gallons of water available at all times now. I also got a folding table that fits very nicely underneath the awning. Um, I'm probably not going to show all of that right now just because got enough going on with this. The hope at this point is to get out of here Wednesday. I don't know if it's going to happen, more just because of finances than anything else. Doing the van engine diagnostic, which fixed everything, is great, but it did take a little bit of money, 150 out of my pocket. And I'm not really going to have any more funds for a couple more days yet. So I'm thinking Thursday will be the day I actually take off, because I also realized as I was going along, I'm like, oh, I've got everything. And I'm like, oh, nope, nope, nope. And they're not big things, but for instance, I still want to find the cats a weighted water bowl and food bowl, so that they have something that can really be stationary while we're moving, and something deeper. So I might end up going with like an actual dog bowl that's deeper and wider, so I can have less water in it, but still lots of water for the cats. And so there's that. And I also want to get them collars. I have the harnesses, but the reality is it's going to take a little while for them to get used to that, because they've been such indoor cats. I've never even had collars on them. They've occasionally, recently, once wore a flea collar. Other than that, they've been fully free cats. So before I go, I want to get them flea collar, or actual collars. Something that will attach well, and especially when we're in other places. I've already seen that they're naturally nervous when they smell a different territory than they're used to, which is good. But at the same time, eventually they're gonna be curious and adventurous, and if nothing else, for those first couple weeks or so when they're really getting out, a collar may work better than the harness to start with, just to get them used to that reality. So, but that's one of the other things on the list. And so it's just little things like that. Tomorrow I want to get all of my laundry done. That's another big chunk of money out, because I mean all of the laundry. I'm going to a laundromat, and anything that's going with me in this van is getting washed tomorrow. So a little chunk of change out of the pocket I have right now. Not a big deal, but the little things add up, which is why I'm thinking realistically Wednesday I'm gonna want to do a little bit more shopping, because they're gonna do a little bit. Obviously, laundry is gonna take a lot of tomorrow. I ain't even gonna lie. So I think Wednesday is probably going to be truly the first day I can just go shop, get everything in the van, all those last little isms that I'm noticing. And I know there's going to be plenty after I even get going. Like, oh, I want this, and oh, I want that, no, I want this. But even for this 3 to 4 day trip that I'm hoping to do, there are a couple of things I really want to get yet and just have hammered down and out of the way. So yeah, so if I don't get going as early Wednesday morning as I would like, maybe we'll just leave Wednesday afternoon, or otherwise we'll leave Thursday morning. Either way, that's kind of where we're at on that. And then all the fun stuff I am trying to figure out a home for now. I think I mentioned these before because I had a different sized one. I have another one now. Like I said, there are 3 different sizes. Grabbed all of my aluminum foil and cling wrap, which came out to be 3 different containers of aluminum foil. Okay, you're gonna come out of there. I have a plan with this, which you may see later tonight if I get enough stuff done, because some things are gonna change up, but I will keep you in suspense because I'm not talking about it yet. Uh-huh. Okay. All of that for now. And if I was to be absolutely honest, I expect 4/5 of everything that I placed somewhere in these first couple of weeks to be moved completely around within 2 weeks to a month, as I'm really in here and finding how I really want to access things. For right now, I'm just really taking advantage of every little inch of storage I have, so that, I mean, hopefully by the time I'm done, there's going to be nothing but clothing in these bins, with some space actually left in the van. So once I really figure out how I like things arranged, I'll still have a little movement space, so I won't have to completely the entire van out onto the pavement, and just to, or wherever I'm at, just to get it all rearranged. But yeah, I have no doubt I will be moving stuff around like a madman for the first couple of weeks. All right, that goes over here. That's my shower. I figure in the mornings when I'm warming up my coffee, I'll also be heating up some water. I'll put a nice little amount of really hot water in here, and then just some regular room temperature water. And with a nice scrubby, that's enough to really get the body clean, especially in a little private spot. Worst case, I keep a pair of shorts on and just turn around and be real quick about that area. But then whatever's left, I can just dunk over the head, and then just do a quick rinse. But also that way I can meter the amount of water I'm using and make sure I don't use too much. But yeah, so that's what that's going to be, is my shower. Another pot. We'll figure that out in a moment. Another one of those. Pretty much going all stainless steel for my cookware. I've got one big piece that's going to be the Teflon no stick. That's the kind of thing I'll use for eggs and such as that. But and even these really do clean up well and nicely. And I have basically a little piece of chainmail, to put it most simply. It's about yay big. Officially used for cast iron. How to clean it without actually using like soap on it. But I have found it works really, really well for stainless steel as well, and really just gets down on it and just cleans everything like that. So I've been using it on that, and it's definitely going to be coming with me. It's still in the house because there's a couple of things need to be cleaned yet, and I'm going to cook one more night at least in there, so I want it in there. But popcorn, I also have some sunflower seeds, because I'm going to do my damnedest bring this with me. Since I have the Jackery, this is probably going to be one of the few little silly items that I really do not need to bring, that I'm going to try and bring. I don't think this is going to go up there. I think this is going to hide somewhere in a particular little spot under the bed, more than likely, or maybe even over by the passenger chair, just because it's weird and bulky. But yeah, I'm going to try and get that in here so I can have popcorn on demand. It'd be nice just to be able to have, something that's such a size, especially to be able to take popcorn. And, we all know how big it gets. But yeah, that's just in the sense of saving space and having a snack. May not be bad to have the popcorn machine here. And I even have a little melter. That's been in the family for a while, which is why it's coming with. Like I said, not a whole bunch of stuff is making it, and I'm not upset about that. In my 20s, when I would go be wild for 6 to 9 months, sometimes almost a year, I would at best throw what I thought was most important at the time into this old trunk I had. So I'd have that as like my little starting base when I'd get back from travel. When I get back to Portland and want to set up. Usually I had whatever little masks I had at the time, and writing that I would, realize later on was not that important to keep, because most of it was up here and was actually still a better story. But yeah, and some clothing. I mean, I normally have clothing, but the reality is I'm bringing so much with me. I can bring little fun things like this. The things I'm saying goodbye to, I'm really not going to miss. I mean, you think about the level of memories I am now going to have again to access by just being out there traveling, seeing people, seeing things, not so worried. But it'd be nice to have a little butter melter when we're out on the campfire and want to have some popcorn. A lid has finally made its way in. Paper towels, because God knows, no matter where you are, you're going to need those. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I've got a bunch of these for the in-between, so I continue to make everything quiet as we're driving along. That can go up there. Let's go down one in between, and there we go. There's the big one. I honestly have a feeling this is going to be one of the things that truly lives in there. Because she's big. She's thick like the van. Alright. That'll keep all of those quiet whenever I end up putting them. And then, just a little sealed container. And that's it for this load. I mean, it's, it's getting to be down to like bare essential type of stuff. All those little odds and ends that you make sure are over at the new apartment before you really start purging the old one. As I said, my hope is to get out of here on Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. My plan is to get down to the seaside area of Oregon this time, because before the whole pandemic craziness kicked off, I went down to Seaside for a day, because that was back when Mom had given me her old Scion for a Christmas gift, which was amazing. I hadn't had my own car for a while, and anybody knows, to just be handed the keys to a car and say, yep, all you gotta do is cover insurance, that doesn't suck. And the Scion, much like the Dodge van I have now, had very low miles. It didn't even have 50,000 miles on it when Mom handed the keys over to me, and it was a 2010. Fun little fast little machine. Just loved that thing. I'm not gonna lie, it was just a little go-kart. And so for the joy of it, I drove down to the coast. And it was a regular coast day here in Oregon, and windy. I mean, because we're talking like February. We're talking before the whole craziness really began last year. So yeah, it was like middle of February. Just kind of starting to hear that, well, maybe we should be taking this thing seriously. And I went down there and, and just kind of looked around for a while. I mean, I was just familiar with the sites. I just wanted to do a drive. I hadn't gotten to do a real big drive with that car yet. So I only had it for like a month at that point. And after being down there, drove down to Cannon Beach, saw Cannon Beach, and I'm like, yep, looks the same. Still beautiful. Drove up to Seaside, and I'm like, yep, still cool. Got the roundabout and everything else. Well, okay. This is what sucks about a native. Kind of bored. It isn't exploring for me. I know all of this like the back of my hand, because I was down here every summer as a kid and have made multiple trips throughout all the other years. I mean, I may miss a couple, 3 years here and there before making it back down, but the Oregon coast has not changed that much in a couple of years. I mean, we've still got a pick and pancake on the Seaside on the main boardwalk. Which I love and adore, and I can't wait to go have a pick and pancake breakfast some point soon. I was going somewhere with that, but God, if I can remember where now. Damn, I really have forgotten. Stresses are moving. But, oh yeah, so leaving Thursday at the latest, because when I was down there before, I ended up getting bored because I was just so familiar with everything. It wasn't like I was going to go explore everything. I got back there. I decided to bring up Instacart. And I actually saw several shops that looked really good, and I ended up doing two. Because shopping, especially down there, it's no more than like 40, 45 minutes per trip more often than not. So yeah, I did a couple. I was like, all right, I made $50. Shit, cover the gas and the lunch I'm gonna go have, because the Scion, tiny little gas, little sipper. She was getting easy on the highway, probably 34, 35 miles. I'm not gonna kid. She had a small little tank, and it didn't even take half of it to get down there. I swear it was hardly over a quarter. I mean, she'd sipper. Unlike this little beast, I'm getting 15 miles a gallon when I'm lucky. But I'm okay with that. But yeah, so because of that, I really do want to get down there and have a couple of days to see what Instacart is like this far later down the road out at the coast. The other nice thing is we're actually starting to hit the summertime peak. You know, we're all just starting to see it. Here we are in June. You know, July is going to really kick it off. July, August, September. That's huge at the coast. And I kind of feel with the level of especially Airbnbs that are out there nowadays, let alone there have been people that have rented their houses for a long time, period, down at the Oregon coast. So I have a feeling there will be a lot of people that just want Instacart done because they don't want to deal with trying to figure out where the grocery store is or where that or this is in the store. They just want to be able to shop, buy a phone in the morning, have their groceries delivered, and go running down to the beach with the kids. But that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's a really solid, easy business that I can make, you know, start making easy $100 a day on again. The best week I ever had with Instacart before everything went crazy was $585 in a week, and I think I worked 28 hours that week. I would have to look back and double check. But yeah, you can make decent money with Instacart in a small amount of time. You just have to enjoy the grocery store. Yeah, that's it. If you're somebody who doesn't like to shop, I do not suggest this app to you. I think it's actually something that is pretty good for people like me that are kind of retiring out of the commission retail world, or even just the retail world period. Um, because you do kind of get a little bit of a sense of pride doing this job, because you're like, yeah, I chose your groceries. I got you the best fruits, the best vegetables I could find, all that kind of stuff. You know, like really being prideful, making sure that the boxes that get delivered of whatever cereals or whatever boxed foods they have aren't some crushed thing. I mean, just to give you an instance, I had somebody deliver literally just a few items because I was obviously in the throes of getting all this stuff done a couple days ago. 8 items all told. He delivered 5. Charged me for all 8 of them. And some other instances I had in just that order of 8 items. I wanted a couple of bags of popsicles. I figured they were out, so I purposely asked for this other style. It's the signature Safeway generic brand. I wanted the mango, or not the mango. Uh, I forget what they are. Oh, the lemon lime. They have these big lemon lime ones that are really good and taste good when it's hot and hot outside. But I knew they probably weren't going to have those, so I said instead do 2 bags of the cherry, grape, orange, banana ones, where you occasionally get a root beer if you're lucky. I said, and I purposely marked down that I wanted 2 of them. Well, he only bought 1 of those. I only wanted 1 pound of hamburger. He bought 1.7 pounds of hamburger instead. What other thing other than that? I think that was really just like both of those kind of irked me a little. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll accept it. Buying 2 damn bags of popsicles is too much for you. And actually looking at the weight before you scan it, things that I do. And then I got the delivery, and I was like, because cats were out of treats. And yes, I spoil my cats, and they know when they're out, and they know what time they're supposed to get them twice a day. Once when I wake up, once around 6:30 in the evening. And they knew, and we were out, and they weren't happy. I had ordered their treats, their food, and 1 can of a higher end wet food, because I don't give them wet food too often. But it is a good thing to give cats on occasion because they are more of a naturally dehydrated kind of animal. But when I do it, I do the stuff that, and I never would eat this, but I at least buy something that I'm like, that at least looks like food, rather than it smells and looks like congealed strips of just, ugh, which is what a lot of cat food is. I can't do that. And my cats won't do it. You know, they're like, screw that. People, I've had a couple of cans kicked down here, and they're like, oh, try this. And they're like, no. No, if it hasn't got like actual like little peas and rice and meat in that thing, they're not interested. But yeah, so none of this showed up, which was really disappointing because I had wanted obviously to make sure they had their regular food, their treats, and also give them that little treat on top of everything. And it didn't happen. So this, I think, is somebody who is just getting into Instacart and probably won't last long, because this is a job that will separate the wheat from the chaff on its own. You know, if you're not good at this job, you're gonna get some complaints pretty damn quick, and you're just not gonna want to do it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I gave them a 1-star review. 8 items. We can even do it this way. 8 items. 8, 8, 8. Delivered 5. Messed up on 2 of those. So yeah, I take pride in it. I honestly think it's the easiest damn thing I've ever done. I think it's easier than Uber Eats, especially with the van, because the thing with Uber Eats, Uber Eats is better than driving people around. Let me say that hands down. But the reality with Uber Eats is you're gonna be going, just like driving people. You're gonna be going nonstop. I mean, because you'll be busy with Uber Eats, just like you're busy with Instacart. But with Instacart, you get to tootle your way onto the store, get out of the van, go shop for anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes, depending on how big of an order you have. Get back out to the van, load up the van, usually drive 2 to 4 miles tops to the destination. It can sometimes be longer, and sometimes I'll take those because those people will add on like a $25, $30 tip. Which, hell yeah, I'll drive an extra 10 miles for that. But, yeah, do that. I'm using far less gas mileage that way, in the sense of cost per net. Whereas with Uber Eats, it obviously wouldn't eat all the profits in gas, but it would eat a bigger chunk than I want to do at this time. So, yeah, that is why I want to get to the coast. That was originally why I wanted to get to the coast all that time ago when we got everything that made all of this a situation until a couple of days ago. But now all of that, now that all of that is fixed, it's time to get back onto the plan, get down to the beach, see what Instacart is like, see if this is as reliable as I'm hoping, or am I going to have to kind of hang more towards like McMinnville or even Hillsborough, Cornelius area to have a more regular cash supplement, and then just make it down to the beach as kind of a fun time thing. These are the things I need to figure out. But yeah, that's where we're at. The tub is empty. I have talked enough. I'm going to take a moment to have wet this mouth that is malfunctioning now. And I'm going to go ahead and post this on its own, and then I'm actually hoping to come back later tonight and do another video. Not because I'm just trying to pump videos out, although that might be part of it. But because I do have a couple of things that I want to try, and I would like to show it at night. Especially if what I'm going to try works as well as I hope it does. I think it's going to be a nice little addition to the van. So, yeah, that's really it for now. I'm going to head back into the house after I figure out the last little spots for these. And that's going to mean I'm going to be turning around, and I'm not shagging my butt in front of you for like 3-4 minutes. No matter how much some of you may want me to. Sorry. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.